Hello and welcome to the video. So we are at the end of 2024. We are now winding down the year. What I'm doing now is I'm gearing up for the Christmas period. I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk about some of the best, most essential games that have come out for the Nintendo Switch in 2024. This is just games this year that have appeared on the Nintendo Switch, so everything from January up till now. Obviously, we haven't quite reached the end of 2024 yet. We still have 2 more months to go through. I've seen people say that 2024 has been a down year for Nintendo Switch, but I don't think it has. I'm going to show you these games right now as to why I think it's been a pretty decent year for Nintendo Switch. It's not been the best year, obviously. You know, we're kind of in that awkward stage of the Nintendo Switch where we're kind of winding down, getting ready for the next successor of the Nintendo Switch. So anyway, let's talk about these games. So I'm going to start off with the best game this year, I believe, in my opinion, and that game is The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom is a traditional 2D Legend of Zelda game. However, this game comes with a little bit of a twist, as you no longer play as the character Link, who is being the established main character of the whole Legend of Zelda series, and now instead you play as the character Zelda, who is the title name character. Apart from that one strange CDI game that was a Zelda game, there's never really been an official Nintendo game where you play as Zelda, and this is the first true Legend of Zelda game where you play as Zelda. So it's an interesting one, as instead of using sword mechanics and stuff like that, which you do get to use in this game, but not at the extent of a normal Zelda game, instead you use Zelda's wisdom powers through the character Tri, who is a companion character, and you basically create echoes. So you find objects throughout the game, you get to copy them and use them all around across the map, and basically the puzzles are used by your imagination, really. It's kind of like a cross between Tears of the Kingdom, the Ultra Hand mechanics, as well as the traditional Legend of Zelda puzzles. So I liked it personally. I think it's a really good game. It's not my favourite Zelda game ever, but I do think it's a decent game this year, and I do actually think it probably is my favourite Nintendo game this year. Next up is Super Mario Party Jamboree. So this game here is a traditional Super Mario Party game. It's the latest one for the Mario Party series. So if you've never played a Mario Party game before, it's basically a collection game of different mini games that revolve around the Mario universe. You play as the different Mario characters. For example, you get to play as Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Yoshi, pretty much any Mario character you can think of. They're most likely playable in this game. It's almost like a board game, I suppose. There's different maps that you play with, and it's challenging. It's a great competitive game, great family fun. I think you will enjoy this game if you've ever played a Super Mario Party game, because this is the most recent one and it has been a bit of a return to form. The next game is Mario and Luigi Brothership. At this time of recording, this game isn't out yet. It is on the horizon. It's literally around the corner. This is the latest installment in the Mario and Luigi series. From experience, Mario and Luigi is a RPG game similar to Paper Mario. It's very much a comedic Mario style game, which is very similar to Paper Mario. In fact, it probably is exactly the same. So if you've ever played a Paper Mario game, you'll probably really like this game, just because of the similarities between Paper Mario and Mario and Luigi. With Mario and Luigi, however, it's almost like you get to use their techniques within the world, as well as within the encounter fights. You get to use your moves and different techniques. There's like puzzles and worlds you can go to and stuff like that. From what I've seen, it looks nice. It's got a new style to it, like an art style, which very much fits the Mario and Luigi art style. Mario and Luigi is great. My favourite one personally is Mario and Luigi Partners in Time, and if it's anything like that, you're in for a treat, because it is just basically a really fun game with lots of puzzles, characters you get to meet and use along the way. Obviously Mario and Luigi are the stars of this series, which you would expect from a Mario game. But yeah, it's an RPG, probably a bit more mature than the Paper Mario ones. I suppose they're probably a little bit more higher teens. If you've ever played a Mario game in general, you'll like this game. Next up is Princess Peach Showtime. This is basically a Princess Peach game. Princess Peach has only ever been the star of 2 games, and her first game was on the Nintendo DS called Super Princess Peach, but this is the second Princess Peach game where she was the main character, the playable character, and Princess Peach Showtime takes Princess Peach and basically turns her into a bit of a girl boss. I think Nintendo are doing really cool things with their female characters at the moment. For example, like Legend of Zelda, with Zelda becoming the center stage with Echoes of Wisdom, and now the same is happening with Princess Peach over at Princess Peach Showtime. It's a very short game. Yeah, I mean, the levels are really unique and creative. The different costumes that Princess Peach gets to wear gives you different techniques as well like that. I think it's really cool. The different worlds look really fun, some better than others. I think it's a very good game, and if you're, you know, really wanting to get into just a short and sweet game, especially if you're like into the Mario series, this is definitely not a game to miss, because yeah, I think it would be for you. It's Princess Peach. She's still a great character. She was great in the Super Mario movie. She's been great in Princess Peach Showtime. Yeah, there you go. I actually recommend this game. Nintendo World Championships NES Edition is an interesting one, because this isn't really like a fully fledged game. It's basically a collection of Nintendo Entertainment System games, been remade to the point where the games are made for speedrunning. This game is basically a palate cleanser, I suppose. I can see Nintendo making more of these kinds of games. For example, the fact they've called this NES Edition makes me think that there's going to be more like games like this, like maybe an SNES Edition or N64 Edition. We don't know, it could happen, but this is the first one, I reckon, of this series that they're making. That's exactly what it is. It's a speedrunning game for you to play the original Nintendo Entertainment System games. There's different challenges and leaderboards and stuff like that, and you can basically play these games and learn how to play them really fast by learning from others and seeing ghosts and stuff like that. So yeah, it's an interesting one if you just want to play some Nintendo Entertainment System games in a different light. If you like speedrunning, if you like watching speedrunners, yeah, maybe try it out. The next game I'm going to talk about is Emio the Smiling Man Famicom Detective Club. I nearly always forget to say Famicom Detective Club at the end. Famicom Detective Club is a old NES series that came out in Japan only. It was only recently that it's come over this side of the world. They've made remakes for these games on the Nintendo Switch in the last few years, but this is the latest game in the series. Emio the Smiling Man is a horror detective game. It doesn't look like it's overly scary. It's called The Smiling Man. I don't know if you've seen the art for this. It's got some really interesting art to it. It's kind of like a visual novel game, an interactive novel game, where if you've ever played like a Professor Layton game or anything like that, you might be interested in this. You know, there's a mystery to be solved. With it being like a Japanese style game as well, I can assure you that there's probably more to this game than that meets the eye. And I remember a lot of people being really disappointed at the reveal of this game, because they thought it was like some brand new IP that Nintendo were making, and then it was to be revealed as the latest Famicom Detective Club game. But I quite liked this idea. I thought it was very interesting. I'm yet to see a physical copy of this game. I will pick one up if I see it, because this game, I reckon, will be one to look out for in the future, because I feel like this game hasn't been the most sought after game, I feel, for gamers, and I think one day this game will become a bit of a rarity, so I'm looking out for an Emio the Smiling Man copy physically. Go check it out. Next up is Endless Ocean Luminous. Now, if you have ever played a game like Subnautica, yeah, it's a chill game. I feel like this game was a bit dead on arrival. I don't think many people really were ever that interested in this game. I can see why, because it is basically just a game where you swim in the ocean and go through coral reefs and stuff like that. I can see why people probably skip this one. It is one of Nintendo's bigger releases this year. Obviously, Nintendo didn't develop the game, but they did promote it, they did produce it. Endless Ocean Luminous might not be the greatest game in the world, but it is one of the more important games of the year for me. I feel like this has been one of Nintendo's calendar games. So yeah, I would check it out. If you can find some other people who might have this game, it could be for you. I feel like it actually looks quite nice as well. Like visually for a Nintendo Switch game, I feel like it actually looks pretty decent. Moving on now though to a game which I feel is a more serious game, and this game is the remake of Super Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. Now this has probably been the second best game released this year. Believe it or not, I feel like there's quite a few people who didn't know this game actually came out. I remember talking to someone who had no idea this game was even actually out. Again, it's another JRPG with the Paper Mario skin to it. Got that Paper Mario humour and style to it. I'm not a massive fan of the Paper Mario series personally, but I can see why people really like this game. It's got that artist style to it, it's got the creative style to it. The boss battles are really fun and intelligent fights. These games have never sold massively well for Nintendo. I think Super Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door is the best Paper Mario game on Nintendo Switch right now. It's worth playing. It's beautiful to look at. It looks very nice. For a Nintendo Switch game, the stylized graphics really work well. Looks amazing, feels amazing to play. Music as well is really cool. So I think Super Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door is definitely a game to pick up if you want one of the essential games this year. Last but not least for this video is Another Code Recollection. Another Code Recollection, again, is another game series that I didn't really know anything about until it was revealed last year. It came out at the very start of this year. This game is a mystery game again. It's like going back to that whole Professor Layton style to it. However, this time around you get to control the character and figure out puzzles. There's two games. Originally one was from the Nintendo DS and the other was on the Nintendo Wii. And these games, they basically create this story of a character who has to go on this journey to find out the mystery of their family. I think it's a nice, visually pleasing game. This has been very much a year of mystery games as well as RPGs for Nintendo. I feel like Nintendo have kind of gone down that route of left turn style release this year with creative gameplay. And I feel like Another Code Recollection, even though it's a remaster of two games, I feel like they decided that a good opportunity to take right now is to be creative with the games that they're releasing. I would pick it up. Another Code Recollection, like I say, it's a beautiful game to look at. It looks really nice. It's definitely on my to pick up list. I feel like this game as well might actually rise in price because I feel like, again, this is another game that people have slept on. And there we go. They are the games from 2024 that I believe are the most essential games for Nintendo Switch that have been released this year. If you would need a game to maybe pick up for Christmas this year, you know, with Christmas around the corner, people are going to start thinking about what games they might want for the Nintendo Switch. I think these games might be good ones to think about, so maybe look out and think about these ones. So there we go. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please do give me a like, comment and subscribe. I really appreciate it when people do. You know, it really helps the channel out. I'm trying to get to 1,500 subscribers by the end of this year. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, check out this video right here. It's very much a similar video to this one where I talk about the most essential games on Nintendo Switch in general. So there we go. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you around. Bye.